Welcome to Woodward Wings. I am Justin Satawa, and
Hello.
I'm joined by the one, the only Spencer Raxter. We are here, and we are on controversy watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna dive on the bullet for this one. A little too much Mad Packs before the show last week, very high, and I'm the elder statesman here, so that's on me. We forgot that Lindstrom's jersey was already retired by the
Not
Detroit
a good
Red Wings.
look. Not a good look.
Totally blowed moment, but you know that's what this is all about.
I take it on the chin too, though.
Got to take it on the chin. Got to keep pushing forward. Got to get better. Got to get pucks on net. Get back there. You know, press hard. Play good defense.
200-foot game.
200-foot
we gotta
game,
develop the 200-foot game.
Yeah.
We've been too hyper-focused on this team's future
Yep.
that we neglected this team's past.
It's true.
So we apologize to you, and
Yeah.
we will be better in the future. But don't
That's on
question
me. That's
the
on me.
opinions of us on the current team, because there's no one who is more hyper-focused on this team than me and Spenny.
They're a little too much Mad Packs, a little too much Dubage, Stevie Bong rips before the show last week. So that one's on me. I will wear that, and I deserved all the criticism.
But
he is, I believe, the greatest defenseman of all time, and he's the greatest Red Wing that I ever saw. So yeah, that's on me.
I agree. Even though
Sorry,
I was
Nick.
only
I'm sorry, Nick. That's disrespect. That
it was disrespectful.
you do not deserve. But also, kind of on the Red Wings, with the just recent retirement of Fedorov, we're like, yeah, there's blowed mind thoughts. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way Lidstrom's already retired if they're just
if
retiring
they're just getting to
Fedorov.
Sergei.
But that's on us. That's on me specifically. I'm the elder statesman. I should have not been as blowed.
Yes.
But we move on. We adapt. Like I said, we get pucks on net. We're playing a tough physical game, 200-foot game, just trying to go out there and give us our best, not make as many mistakes, and try to play an error-free game.
Yes, and that is what the Detroit Red Wings try to do under Todd McClellan, as that is one of Todd McClellan's big ideals, is the fact that he likes playing clean, gritty hockey.
Getting pucks deep.
Making sure that they're owning the possession battle, they're getting back in the back check, and being good defensively. Those are the things that we gained when he became the head coach of this team.
You saw the shots per period go up like tenfold. Like
Yes.
under Lalonde, it would be like, oh, they got 25 shots this game.
Because they were too committed to
They
the
were
double
too
chase.
committed. They were too committed to the double chase. They were too committed to the extra pass and making the perfect opportunity where I don't want to say 80% of hockey goals are ugly, but a vast majority of hockey goals are off of tips, ugly, around the
Yes.
front of the net. Very rarely do you get the perfect bing, bang, boom,
That's what the power play's
or
for.
the perfect breakaway, dangle snipe in the middle of a game. You're going to have to score ugly goals, and the Red Wings did that much better under Coach McClellan than they did under Derek Lalonde.
Yes, and I do think, because I'm going to bring some positivity to the table. I can't lie to you guys. We have been down on this team, but I'm going to try to find the angle, the path, okay?
Angle of the dangle?
Angle of the dangle, the path to the playoff. So we saw that there was positive progression under McClellan versus Lalonde. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Is it fair to say
very fair to say.
that it is fair to expect them to improve vastly off just having an off season with McClellan?
That is very fair, because I do think it's a different type of game that they were playing under Todd McClellan, obviously, and so we saw them get out to such a hot start when Todd first came here, but then kind of die off because I don't think they were ready for that type of game for a prolongated season or for an entire stretch. Like, they played hard and physical and great like that for a short stretch, and then we saw it slowly taper off because they still had to get used to it. So now with an off season and basically soon to be a full year under Coach McClellan, they're going to be ready for how he wants them to play and be physical going forward the whole season.
And I think you're going to see that when it comes to the bottom two lines, because I think we both can admit
Appleton's a
the
good
bottom
sign.
six is completely reinforced. Last year, you had guys like Watson playing minutes.
Yeah.
You had Rasmussen down there.
Yeah.
It was ugly on that fourth line.
Yeah, Watson and Christian Fisher are two
Jesus Christ.
guys that I do not want to see.
Or Veleno.
Or Joe Veleno, but shout out to Stevie for turning Joe Veleno
Into
basically
Mrazek, yeah. Into John Gibson.
basically into John Gibson.
Elite move.
Yeah, we've said it multiple times. I know that we've been rather negative, but the positives we've gave Steve is as handcuffed as I do believe that Steve Yzerman is, and I do believe he is handcuffed by ownership. I don't think he is allowed to make the moves he wants to do because Chris Ilitch is a turd, but he did a great job reinforcing the bottom six if JVR is on your bottom six, not if he's on your first line. Like Appleton and JVR, fantastic additions to your bottom six if they're in the bottom six.
Yes, 100%. So then we go to the defense. Is the defense at least marginally better with Docker over Hall?
Yes. Justin Hall is not on this starting team, this roster, this 6 guys you're putting out there.
It seems like he will be the 7th defenseman.
It seems like
possibly
he's
8th.
Possibly 8th. Hopefully
8th.
Yes. And Bernard Docker is an upgrade over Justin Hall, absolutely.
Okay.
So, marginal, like, you'd rather see improvement in your top pair than your bottom pair, but you'll still take it, and that is much needed.
Okay.
On a long stretch season where you're missing the playoffs by, 1 point and then 6 points.
Yes.
Small things like that can make the difference.
Yes.
Small improvements like that can make the difference.
So, here's the path.
Okay.
Better coaching.
Yep.
No slow start to begin the season.
Mm-hmm.
Defense is marginally improved. Goaltending is extremely improved.
Very improved.
And the forwards are, if not the same, I would argue also marginally improved.
They're marginally improved, yes.
The PK improved.
Yes.
So we are talking about a lot of this team's weaknesses being strengthened. Tweaked to strengthened.
Yes.
Maybe not as much as we would have liked, but they are strengthened.
Yes.
So for all those reasons, can you pick up those 6 points that you are behind Montreal?
For all those reasons, I believe you can. If it was on paper, this is the point number you have to get to with the same teams there. Yes, they could. There are a couple factors that make it a bigger stretch, and we talked about that being a factor of the other teams in the division also getting better. So you getting better is just to keep pace with what you were last year. You have to take a big leap to get over them.
Yes.
That big leap you have to take is if nobody misses serious time on this roster right now.
You have no margin for error.
No margin for error or injury with your goaltending, defense, or forwards.
Yes.
So you have to get a healthy season out of everybody and a season where Dylan Larkin and Lucas Raymond both play like superstars for 82 games.
Yes.
Those are the stipulations. Nobody can get injured at any facet, especially John Gibson. But more, even in your defense, if you lose a defender, you're probably seeing Justin Hall. If you lose a forward,
please just do ASP instead.
You're probably going to see, hopefully Lombardi, but probably not. Carter Mazer could be a guy that
Mazer should make the team.
He should make the team, but forward not as much. Defense and goaltending, you cannot suffer any injuries. And forward, you need your guys to put together full seasons, which, as much as I love Lucas Raymond and Dylan Larkin, they haven't shown us they can do in the past couple of years.
No, they have not.
That's the step they need to take. And that's on them. That's on them being the upper echelon talent on this team, which is what they are, which is what everybody expects them to be, and which is what they should be. They got to put it together for a full season.
Yes, they do. And for all those reasons, I do see a path.
There is a path.
The only issue is every other team also got better.
Yep.
So I'm not ready to call for the playoffs for this team. I want to see it. I want to see the improvement. I want to see how the season starts. I want to see they play a lot of tough games early. They got a lot of tough teams that they play early. They play Montreal in the first game of the season. Then they have to play Florida, Edmonton, Tampa. Like, you're going to know what this team is very early. And if they are going to be able to compete with the top teams in the East. Mm-hmm. And yes, they will improve. They will get better throughout the year because they are a young team. But you will know a very clear baseline of how good they're going to be.
I think I burnt my lip on that steak yesterday at Black Rock. Yeah, you're right. 100%. No, I agree. I think that if the season starts right now and these are the moves that Steve Yzerman makes, or that the only moves he's allowed to make, because, again, I'm 100% on the train that Steve Yzerman is being handcuffed by ownership. I don't believe he is allowed to make the moves he wants to, and I don't believe he is allowed to pay the people he wants to. I think he is being muzzled by Chris Ilitch, and I think Chris Ilitch is ruining a couple teams in this town, and obviously the Tigers are doing very well, but could be better if it wasn't for Chris Ilitch. We'll see if he lets Skubal walk, then we'll really have that conversation, but with what Steve Yzerman's been allowed to do, I believe this team right now is the same place it was last year. Because, like I said, yeah, you made great points. Yes, you've gotten marginally better in spots that you had weakness. So have other teams in the East. A lot of other teams in the East. So I think you're right at the spot you have been the past 2 years, and it's going to come down to the last 2 weeks of the season. And if you're hot in the last 2 weeks of the season, you'll make the playoffs. If you're not, you won't. I think that's as easy as it is. You're going to be within, like,
and if you make the playoffs, it will be because of John Gibson.
And if you make the playoffs, it'll be because of John Gibson. Yeah, he's going to be, if he's hot at the end of the year, if he's healthy, then you're going to make.
If he's playing like prime John Gibson, you will make the playoffs.
How old is he now?
31.
31. Okay.
I think going on 32.
All right, that's not bad.
Yeah, Bob's 36 and still playing like a stud.
Yeah,
so.
but Bob's an alien.
That is true, but I do think that if we're talking John Gibson, .914 save percentage, we're in the playoffs. Like, if he's going over 9-1, I know we're only asking for 9, but if he goes 9-1, I think there's a very good chance this team makes the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think
because you just need him to steal 6 games.
The goaltender in hockey is the single most important position in sports outside of quarterback.
And that's why we have an advantage over Montreal and over Columbus. That is your saving grace.
Got to stay healthy.
And you need John Gibson to stay healthy.
That is the single most important.
You have a good tandem too. Cam Talbot can come in
Cam
and win
Talbot
a couple
can
games.
come in and win some. Cam Talbot is your number 2. I'm comfortable with for sure.
I am 100%.
You got the unction in that, but like
it's a good unction.
It's a good unction. It's I'm comfortable with Cam Talbot as 2. If he starts once a week or whatever you're going to put him in, twice a week, whatever it is, I'm cool with that.
All right. Updated playoff meter. We'd say we do it every week.
What were we at? I was at 3.
3
last week. I'm going to stay at 3. I mean, they if you want to talk me into 4, sure, but
I'm going to say 4.
Okay. Yeah.
I think 5 is like a 50-50 chance. I think we're at 45-55% where we have the 45% chance.
I think we need a lot of things to go right if we want to make the playoffs. Like, we already laid it out. Yes, you got better. You did, for sure, but so did the other teams in the East. You need Lucas Raymond and Dylan Larkin to be superstars. You need improvement from your young core. You need John Gibson to stay healthy all season, and you need your defense to stay healthy all season. So, yeah, I think we're right where we were. I mean, obviously, we haven't made any moves since last week, but there's hope for the season. They're going to be fun to watch. They're going to be it's not like they're going to be bad, but they're going to be right where they have been the past 2 years, unless they make a trade.
Yes. Well, the trade is being asked about in chat that they want our opinion on. I would, if I was the Red Wings, try and trade for a top 4 defenseman, whether it is someone like Rasmus Anderson or Dougie Hamilton. I think both those names we've already talked about over the course of the summer because they have been in the rumor mill. The summer of trades.
Summer of trades that amounted to...
That literally were no trades.
I like Dougie Hamilton.
But I like Dougie Hamilton. I think that'd be a nice ad. Shores up your right side.
Big fucker, too, dude.
He's huge.
Yeah.
And he's got some good offensive game. He'd play with Ed. Mm-hmm. Be a good spot for him.
I would love Dougie Hamilton. I would. It's a big asshole Canadian. Like, yeah, that would be great. He would bring out the best of Ben Sherratt. But what would you have to give up to get a Dougie Hamilton? And are the Devils looking to move? Like, the Devils are trying to make the playoffs too.
I know they're trying to rework their cap though to go after Quinn Hughes.
Yeah. I'd take Dougie Hamilton for sure. How much do you know what his contract's at?
It's high.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't cost a lot in the trade market because it's so high. And we have the cap space to give. I mean, we are just above the floor, so we could easily pay that contract.
Dougie Hamilton's, he's not this superstar defenseman that's going to save your team, but he would be a very good piece to solidify your top four.
He's a B-plus defenseman.
Yeah. He would probably be the second or third, I would say right now, the second best defenseman on your team.
Yes.
But midway through the season, I bet you could say third once Edvinsson takes a little step forward.
I agree with that. So,
and I would take that in a heartbeat for
100%.
sure.
I'd be very happy if they were to reinforce the top 4D or the top 6 forwards at some point this season, and it would give me a lot of confidence for them to actually make the playoffs.
You guys know there are two things, my two favorite hockey players, my two favorite types of hockey players are big asshole North American and skilled Russian. Like those are my two favorite archetypes of hockey player. And so yeah, if you can get a fucking 6'6" Canadian goon who's not just a goon, he's also a skilled player for his size, yeah, I would do that for sure. But I would be surprised if that happens, because that means Chris Ilitch would have to pay more money, and I don't think that he's in the market of doing that. If Steve Yzerman said, hey, we could get this guy that would solidify our top 4 defense, but you have to pay him more than what he's worth. And I don't know what's the term, the years, probably a couple of years left on his deal.
I think he has 2 years left on his deal.
I don't think Chris Ilitch would be willing to do that.
Only time will tell.
I think Steve Yzerman would love that.
I think he would as well.
He wanted Jacob Trouba. He wanted to go after Trouba. I mean, Dougie Hamilton, another big asshole defenseman. I think he would love that. I think he'd be a great fit. I think he could teach Mo Sider a lot of things.
Edvinsson a lot of things.
He could teach Edvinsson a lot of things.
He could teach ASP a lot of things. I think that would be a very beneficial for.
But I don't think Chris Ilitch would do it. I think Steve Yzerman would do it in a heartbeat. I don't think Chris Ilitch would allow the Red Wings to do that.
I think that's absolutely fair. And it's fair for you guys coming at us in the comments about our Lindstrom debacle.
For sure.
So, but other than that, there are a few, good comments.
Like I said, that one's on me. I'll wear that one on the chin. I just got to bounce back, make some good plays on the next one, get pucks deep, crash the net, work people against the boards, and hopefully we come out on top.
Yes. Another hot take show. This is from Ice Fish in Michigan. ASP is not NHL ready. Did you watch him in GR last year?
I would agree.
God, why?
But
why can I not go through a show without getting this comment?
I mean, yeah.
I believe that with time in GR to start the year,
you don't want him.
That he will be ready to play in the NHL at some point next year. I don't understand how that's so hard to understand.
Get it through your fucking mind. No, yeah.
Like, as soon as he is playing well in the AHL, they're going to pull him up.
He's just got to adjust to physicality and the rink size of North American hockey. And that doesn't take very long for a guy. So I think I agree with Justin. I think he'll be NHL ready about halfway through the season, but I don't think they're going to bring him up. People
did with ASP what others did with Zadina. Wallander is still not played an NHL game yet. The waste of time calling him up to watch games. Yes, he got paid for it, but I'm sure he would like to take a roster spot from these players. Lagerstein was supposed to be wanted by Boston, and Steve Yzerman wouldn't trade an AHL player because he did well in 7 games on the third D pairing. That's what he should be doing with his top draft picks, giving them 8 games to see how close they are. They need to work on, because I see a couple not re-signing and asking to be traded to a team for SY's famous future considerations.
I mean, yeah, I don't hate that at all. Like, what this team is right now is they are in limbo. They're a perpetual contender for the playoffs and never pushing through the past soon to be 3 years, possibly, if the season goes how we think it will. So yeah, if you're just throwing darts at hopefully making the playoff board, why not give the kids some ice time and see if they're ready? You're not going to bring them up here and then leave them up here, no, but give them, like you said, 7-8 games. This is what the NHL is like, kid. You better learn this fast, and you send them back down to GR, and they get ready, and then hopefully they'll be ready to come up next year.
Signing Lagerson as soon as free agency kicked off this year pissed me off so much, and I'm not even gonna front about that. Like, yeah, I understand, like, he's a developmental piece that we're still trying to develop, but at the same time, like, just pick a better time. Like, don't do it literally the second free agency drops when we're seeing, teams getting the bell of the ball or seeing Ekblad re-sign in Florida, and we're like, yeah, we got William Lagerson back.
I forgot Florida's just running it back, bro. They're going to win.
And Chuck's starting the year on LTIR, too, for half the season, and they're still going to be fine.
They're still going to be fine.
Yep.
They're still going to be the best team in the East, even without their best player. They're so good, dude. They're so deep. They're going to win the Cup again.
Yeah, they are. I got a bet. I told you, as soon as they won the Cup this year, I put in a bet on them winning it next year.
I've said it before. Like, I think they're the best team ever assembled in the salary cap era.
They are unbelievable.
It's insane, the depth on their team.
Well, and if Chuck's out for like the whole year, they'll fucking use the loophole.
Yep.
Which I don't believe they fixed in their new negotiation.
No. Fuck the Mark Stone loophole.
Yeah.
That shit's. They're literally gonna do it.
Mark Vader, the one commenter is right. This is about the Hockey Town stuff from last week. You guys had the most Red Wings. You guys and most Red Wings fans are entitled. We had 25 years of straight playoff berths and then didn't start rebuilding till 7 years ago. 3 of those years it took to get rid of all the old contracts to start from square one instead of -10. It is okay to hope for a playoff berth, of course, but if you use logic, then expecting it already makes you entitled.
What's his name again?
Mark Vanderkirk.
You can't use the 25-year streak topic and use they had to dig out of a hole topic at the same time, because the reason they had to dig out of the hole was because they were selling out just to keep the streak alive, bringing in Franz Nielsen, bringing in Daniel Alfredson, bringing in all of these washed up veterans just to make the playoffs, just to keep the streak alive. So you can't be like, hey, they made the playoffs 25 years in a row, and then be like, it's okay that they haven't yet because they had to dig out of a hole. They dug out of the hole because they kept the streak alive. If you would have just been like, okay, this team isn't good enough to compete, let's cut bait and get these guys out of here and not trade all of our assets for more aging veterans, then you wouldn't have had to dig out of a hole. And we would have been in the playoffs by now.
I'm tired of hearing this too, because I've now recently prescribed to the theory that if it happened before I'm born, I don't give a shit.
That's
okay?
Fair. Yeah, that's
I
fair.
am 23 years old. I saw probably 5 of those teams that were actually worth a shit.
Wow.
The rest of them were utter trash who got first round limbed every single year. That's what I know, okay? I am not entitled. I can barely remember the 08 Stanley Cup. I only remember literal bits and pieces of it because I was 6 years old.
I remember it. It was awesome.
I was born in 2002 in the Stanley Cup before that.
2002?
Yeah.
You were born?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. I didn't know that.
I have not experienced the true nature of Hockey Town, okay? And I'm sick of having to act like I'm not entitled. I literally haven't seen anything.
You don't know what Hockey Town is?
Like seriously, yeah. I went to games all growing up. I started playing hockey when I was 4 years old. So I did go to games at that point. I do remember it. But I was still 4 and 6 years old. I don't remember it like how I remember the 2023 Michigan National title that I went to, or going to the playoff games in 2024 for the Lions. Like, those are real things that I know and that I have like locked into my brain. Yeah. I don't remember Hockey Town, and I wish I did. And to everyone who got to experience, good on you. It's great. It's
pretty cool.
I'm jealous of you. I'm genuinely jealous of you. I live and breathe this fucking team. When a game is on, literally, it doesn't matter if it's the fucking opener or if it's the 82nd game of the season. I'm sitting there, like, edge of my fucking chair, and I'm, like, every time we score, I'm fucking standing up. I'm fucking hitting the fucking arrow celebration like the fucking guys on the ice. I literally feel like I am fucking on the team. And you know what? That's a fucking, like, fucked up way to think about it, but I don't fucking care. Yeah. I fucking love this team. I fucking die for this team. Watching them piss away last season with Lalonde pissed me off out the wazoo. You can go look at the clips from last year.
Yeah.
I literally was red in the face and literally cussing the Illiches out because they wouldn't do anything about it. And I question if they would have done something, they would have made the playoffs because they would have done something earlier and went to McClellan.
Yep.
So don't fucking give me any of that shit anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at it. You don't know what this is hockey town to you. If people say that Detroit is still hockey town, for Justin's generation, the vast majority of hockey town is not making the playoffs. Or
being a first round exit.
And that's what it is too. For the last 5 years of that stretch, if you're banging your chest about hockey town, you shouldn't include that, because that's not hockey town. Those teams were not hockey town. Those teams were not cup contenders. Those teams were not that good. You shouldn't be proud of those last 5 years of playoffs. I went to those games. I was in the last playoff game with Joe Louis. I was standing in the nosiest, bleediest seats in the entire. It was awesome. Mrazek made the best save I've ever seen, where he dove across the crease and he knocked it down. I've seen Red Wings win Stanley Cups. I watched the triple overtime game in Pittsburgh where they lost, and then they come back and they win the next day and win the cup. Or the triple overtime game in Detroit when they lost, and they come back in Pittsburgh and win the cup the next game. I stayed up for those. I remember those. It was amazing. It hasn't been like that for a while. And
where's your fucking pride?
Yeah, if you're sitting here saying that this is hockey town, you're doing yourself a disservice, you're doing the Detroit Red Wings a disservice, and you're spitting in the face of all the fans, because it's not. We have not felt that. We have not seen that in about 15 years.
You care more about the fact that we forgot that Nick Lindstrom's numbers retired than actually making the playoffs.
That was disrespectful, though.
That was disrespectful, but
that one's on me.
But like at the same time,
gotta be better.
We gotta be better.
Hard.
We gotta be
gotta get pucks deep.
Yes, we do. But at the same time, it's not even like you like. You would rather justify your team's actions than want them to actually do something more for you.
Yeah, calling us entitled, but saying this is still hockey town is stupid. If you accept what they've done the past 10 years as hockey town, then you should be ashamed of yourself. Because I don't. I remember it. I remember winning Stanley Cups. I remember going to parades. I remember staying up and watching the games. It hasn't been like that, man.
This is the most successful franchise
in North America. For the majority of my life, it was all I knew. Until I was in high school. It was all I knew, and I haven't seen it since.
Most cups in the United States should mean something. You don't see, like, you saw Montreal rebuild in three years. And yeah, they had more weaponry, but they are already doing it better than you in a shorter period of time, and it's because they're aggressive. They want to win. They know how bad their fans actually want it. There is a difference between and you know what?
Fuck Toronto, dude. Fuck them and their fans. They're pussies.
They are pussies, but they will win at all costs, and I got to give them credit for it. And then they might be delusional. They might think they're going to win the cup every year, even if they're not. But I got to give them.
They'll never win the cup. Fuck them.
No, they're not going.
I know.
They literally.
I just hate giving any props to Toronto fans at all.
Fine. Well, give props to Montreal then, because Montreal's the same way. Because
they made the Cup Finals recently.
They did, and then they ballooned out and they sucked for a while, but now they're back, and you know what? They're on the cusp of becoming an actual relevant team in the Eastern Conference, and they go out and they make a huge move for Noah Dobson, and that's because they are desperate to win.
And that's because they're not owned by Chris Ilitch. That's what I believe. I think, like I said, I wholeheartedly believe that Chris Ilitch is hamstringing Steve Yzerman and not allowing him to make the moves that he wants to make because he doesn't want to spend money. I think he's cheap. I think he is going to be the downfall of the Red Wings, and I think that he's not going to sign Tarek Skubal, and we're going to see the Tigers have to survive off of Scott Harris picks, and we're going to see the Red Wings have to survive off of Steve Yzerman picks.
And it sucks because he's a top 10 richest owner in MLB, and one of the richest owners in hockey.
He's just worried about burning down houses.
Yes, he is. Allegedly.
But
that's going to do it for us today. Thank you for tapping into Woodward Wings.
Listen, we tried to be positive.
We tried.
We gave some positivity. We apologized for our blunder. And, I don't think...
We'll hit a couple miles.
I don't think the old heads that are holding on to Hockey Town understand how disrespectful it is to themselves. If you could still consider what the Red Wings have done in the past 10 years to be a part of Hockey Town, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Ask yourself what you would have thought about this team 10 years ago in the middle of the 25-year streak.
Yeah.
And how it ended up now. Just reflect on that.
In 2008, if you told yourself you'd be cool if the Red Wings didn't make the playoffs for 10 years, how would you have reacted?
It's a decade.
It's a decade.
It's a decade.
It's not acceptable.
Shout out to Neil. He's 100% correct. But Have a great Saturday, or if you watch this later in the week, we appreciate you tapping in. Make sure you smash that like button.
Smash.
From Justin, from Spencer Raxter, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.
Peace.